Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. All Things Giant with Jake and Jordan on your Wednesday podcast drop. How are we doing, everyone? I'm joined as always, Mr. Frost. How are we doing, pal?
Fantastic, mate. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I think we've got a bit of a packed show to get in here after this weekend. So I think we should crack straight onto it, mate.
Yeah.
So let's start off with where we left the last show. We obviously saw the news just before Leicester's game on Friday that we'd released Hexham due to personal reasons. What are your thoughts, pal?
First of all, mate, I'm absolutely gutted. I really am. You know, he was such a. I mean, I had my gripes with him defensively. I thought he could have done a lot more defensively, especially with his height. And he's like we said in the past, it's a constant mismatch.
Yeah.
But just what he gives you on offense was very, very unique. And if we are to replace him, it's going to be so tough. So tough to find someone like that.
I think
Giants.
Go on, mate.
No, just saying though, Giants, they pull it out of the bag a lot, signings wise. So I have every faith if they are after someone, it'll be the right guy. So
yeah. I mean, I think we've said in the past he was pretty much a guard, shooting forward and anything between that. We needed him to be at 6'8", 6'9". And someone with that scoring potential is going to be a bit of a hole. But we'll move on to a few things in a minute regarding who's covering that gap at the moment for us. But with how do we say this? With obviously we know that the Americans, Zach and Awandi, all live together in the house. With Hexham leaving, do we reckon that's going to put a strain on the guys with togetherness just for those six, or what we're saying?
I mean, if I'm dead honest with you, mate, I saw Friday as we was more together than I've ever seen us in the Leicester game. To push them, I mean, I know they've been pushed this season, but with players fresh from injury, we're talking guys who was cleared to play on the day. You know, players fresh from injury, for them to come on and us losing probably our biggest offensive threat. You know, was it on the day or the day before or something? You know, that there showed, and players did step up. Sam Cassell, mate, you saw it on your TikTok, him hitting that massive shot, and, the players stepping up. Whelan, mate, coming off a 3-week layoff, putting up 30 points, mate. And I said something
coming off the bench as well.
Well, this is it, yeah. And, I said something to you regarding when you look at Whelan's stat line for that game. And when you see, I think it was 30 points, was it 4 assists, and I don't think actually any rebounds. That there, it may look like he's stat padding himself, but he's not. That's putting the team on your back stats, and that's what he did. Do you know what I mean? That's what he did. And at the time when he needed the team to step up, which was towards the end of the fourth quarter, they did.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't say there's definitely around the time of Hexham being injured and leaving, in that sort of 2-week period, there's definitely been a lot of swings in people's moods, and you can see that on the court.
I completely agree, mate. I mean, just looking at this Leicester game, as we just mentioned, Whelan came off for 4 rebounds, 1 assist.
Yeah, also got it right.
Done your research, mate. Brady came out 29 points, 14 rebounds, 3 assists. DJ shined for me personally in the last previous games. He played a full 45 minutes, 15 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and obviously we saw Sam Cassell come out there with 17, 6 and 10. When you look at it, you'd say there was nothing wrong. We came out, we fought, we went to we pushed it to overtime. Well, we pushed it the last 7 seconds to draw level twice to push it into overtime. And then we just couldn't go over the final hurdle in the overtime. But I think when we talk about the mood swing and, the stability is a bad word for it, but let's use it for now. That the stability of the players coming together in comparison with Cheshire's game on Sunday, they were like two different teams. They were absolutely like two different teams.
Yeah, and it's just. Well, did you say Cheshire's game is in the Sunday just gone? You mean the Sheffield game or the Cheshire game before?
Sorry, my mistake. Yeah, Sheffield.
Yeah. No, definitely. It was two completely different rosters. Completely different rosters. You know, we're not starting amazing in games. You know, I think a lot of that. I think it makes you realise how much Brady and Hexham leaned on each other.
Yeah.
You know, like Brady he's been a different player. Like the game against Leicester, he was playing not carefree. That's the wrong word. But he was playing like he meant to be there, and this is his game.
Yeah.
Whereas other games, Plymouth, yesterday's game, I mean, what did he go in with at the half? 3 fouls and 2 points.
Something like that. Yeah, man.
You know, and that there, and I use this word in every sense, is horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
From our absolute standout player for this season. You know, he has give a lot, mate. And yesterday, it just seemed, it wasn't just him. It just seemed like there wasn't a lot coming from them. You know, it was like people, you know, not necessarily didn't want to be there, but they were scared to go in. They were scared to do things, you know, that they'd usually do. You know,
I mean, I was speaking to you towards at the end of the game when forgive me of his name, but number 20 for the Sharks, 21, Jackson. He was arguing with not Jackson, my mistake. It was Marsden, sorry. It was Marsden on the Sheffield game on Sunday. 20 seconds left in the game. You know, we were down by 14 or something, and Brady and Jackson were going at it with like 30 seconds left. And there's part of me that goes, you know, great. Like, yeah, we got a technical from. Well, sorry, Sheffield got a technical from that little argument, little spat. Mm-hmm. But what you got to ask yourself, where was that energy for the rest of the game?
Yeah. At the end of the day, Rob Marsden's been around the block. He's been there, done that, got the T-shirt, right? You know, and he knows not necessarily how to get in people's heads, but he's come across. He's played the BBL. I think he went to France for a season, didn't he? But he's played in the BBL for the majority of his career. He's seen Americans come and go. You know, they don't bother him. You know, with a lot of people, they think, oh, they've got this American, they've got that American. He's played in this league. With Rob Marsden, he'll be so used to it, doesn't bother him. So he'll have just been, you know, jive talking. At the end of the day, Sheffield did the talking on the scoreboard. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And they did, you know. And we've seen what Brady's like, and it works for you, and it works against you in some aspects. We haven't had the best of luck from referees, ironically, since we bigged him up on that pre-game show a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
we've not had the best of, luck from the referees. But you can't blame it on that. At the end of the day, all we want is for Breon Brady and the rest of the guys to go out there and leave it all on the court.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
And you know, we rave about him on this show, David Ulf. You know, sometimes games can pass him by for a little while, but he always puts in 100% effort. You know, and what did he get? 14 points yesterday. He was like joint second scorer with Sam Cassell. Yeah. Whelan got 15. You know, that again, you know, coming off the bench, playing bench minutes. You know, I think he got 8 rebounds. Do you know? He's already giving more to the squad than what the starting 5 was. Yeah. And it shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be the case. And I go on, sorry, mate.
Just to add to that, you know, we're not trying to be negative. We're just, you know, standing that from a critical point of view, because obviously we're passionate about the team, and when we see a double header like this go ahead, and you know we see people talking and saying, oh, you know, we look tired out there, and it's like, well, that shouldn't be an excuse, because Sheffield played Friday and Sunday and they won both games. Listen, so it's not a case of, you know.
these guys are professional athletes, mate. And I understand you can get tired and stuff. I was tired when I went to work this morning. Do you know what I mean? But I still went and did it, and I put in the effort, and that's the thing.
Came away with 2 assists.
I'm not saying, and I hate the fact that it sounds like we're slating them, and we're not. It's like you just said, we're just so passionate about it, and we take our time and we spend our money watching them. You know what I mean? And you're not just watching them doing things like this podcast.
It was a hard watch.
It really was. It really, really was. I don't begrudge taking my time and spending money and doing this, because it's the sport I love and it's what I'm doing it for. It's just sometimes you want it to be replicated on the court.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because there is hundreds of people watching that as Giants fans. Do you know what I mean? And I find it sad, because we said on this podcast, we are a positive podcast, and we are people who stay, we was fully behind it, and I'm still fully behind them.
Absolutely.
A couple of losses isn't going to do it, but we did say at the start that when we have a bad game, we're going to be on at them as well, and that's the whole point of this platform. Do you know what I mean? And it's just frustrating just to see at the moment, because we've got a more than enough of a good team without Lyle Hexam to still finish 4th or 5th.
Absolutely.
We've got seasoned pros. We've got a bloody, Sam Cassell's playing in the NBA Summer League. His dad won an NBA championship,
3 times.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah. And he's showing up. He is showing up. But again, he fades in and out of games. We've got guys who have been there, done that, got the T-shirt, DJ Wheeling and stuff, and they are showing up. It's just we just want it consistent. I don't know.
I mean,
I think
let's just move on to Owandi before we just to round off the criticism kind of opener. He came out in the Leicester game on Friday, hit 2 points. Both of those were from free throws. Had 15 minutes on the court and 2 fouls, and 1 assist, 1 rebound. And then you compare it to the Sunday game. He had 5 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. Now, I don't know what's happened to him. Obviously, we know that his missus is heavily pregnant, or he's ready to pretty much have a baby. But that may be a part playing on his mind. Obviously, we talked about the house environment with Hexam going. Is that a part of it? But he just seems to have just dropped off the pace a little bit. Now, that's not saying that he's not a good player, because we've seen flashes of him come through and hit 3 after 3 after 3 and have great games, like 15, 18 point games. But at this point of the season, for someone to start off so well and kind of just drop off, not even just slowly drop off, just drop off to pretty much no input. Whereas DJ is a prime example of, he came out, he played his D, he was getting 2 to 6 points a game, and then had to step it up. And then since then he's given us a 10-point game, a 12-point game, and a 15-point game, and a 12-point game again on Sunday. Like, so he's getting there and he's staying consistent. Whereas Alex doesn't seem to have quite picked up again from where he was. And again, like we said, I don't know whether it's the house situation or whether he's got personal problems with, not personal problems, but a bit of pressure on from home. But I'm me and you. I talk to you all the time, and I say as soon as Alex hits a 3, that's it. It's gone.
Yeah, I mean, to sort of simplify it down, I've experienced having a kid myself and having a professional career and everything, and it is the biggest thing that'll ever happen to you, mate. It is simple as it is the biggest thing that's ever happened to you. And he could have one eye on it. He could just be having a bad streak.
Yeah.
He's took DJ God knows how many games to get hot. I mean, at the start of the season, listen, when we got Alex and he had that game against Cheshire, the first game of the season, I thought this is probably the best European input we could have asked for.
Yeah. Because
he's tall, he's athletic, he can shoot, and that's all you want from a 3 or a 2 guard. That's all we want. And with in the last few weeks, I mean, I'm not sure. I think we mentioned that he's now. I don't think he's living in the house anymore. But
oh yeah, of course, yeah.
But either way, something's affecting him. And he don't get me wrong, he still runs and he still puts in effort. You can't knock him for that. And he still does go in for the rebounds.
He still gets back and plays good D. He contests pretty much all of the shots that come against him as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we're not doubting that. And I've said this before on the podcast. If in doubt, simplify your game and play good defense.
Yeah.
And that's all you can ask. Because we've all had games where we've took 2 or 3 shots in the first quarter and none of them have gone in. You're like, right, I'm gonna have to chill for a quarter here. I'm letting the team down. And he does that and he goes and plays deep, but he doesn't recover from that, and that's what's slightly worrying. He's had games where he was absolutely silent and then he's gone off. Whereas now he's silent and staying silent.
Yeah.
We're not playing him out of position in my eyes. There's nothing wrong with, where the coach is playing him, or I don't know. It's just it's hopeful. I mean, hopefully it is just a bad patch and he's going to get back onto it.
Yeah.
And I'm really positive for him and the team that he's going to, we are going to recover. Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I don't think I've, barring being at a game, I don't think I've ever lost my voice so quickly with the Riders game.
We had to stop our voice notes, didn't we?
We just ended up texting because that was absolutely ridiculous. And if you haven't seen, Jordan obviously knows, I sent out a apology letter to my next door neighbour due to that game, because I must have screamed the entire house down with Sam Cassell drawing through, tying up the game with the 3, Brady getting the offensive rebound and tying it up with his under the basket too. So from the Riders game, I'm taking nothing but positive because we came out, we showed up, and we showed the league what we can do. It was just the overtime that killed us. We got outscored by 7 points, and I think the first quarter was like 32-31 or something ridiculous for a first quarter.
Yeah.
And like you said it before yourself, at the moment we're not starting games very strong, and we came out at Leicester like we're the best team on the planet.
Yeah, so, I mean, I said to you yesterday, regarding the Leicester game, there was a lot of shots, that we took where they wasn't dropping in the Sheffield game, contested 3-pointers. And there was one point where we'd throw a shot up in the Leicester game where I thought, of course it's going in.
Yeah.
It was just one of them days. And, we put 100-odd points on probably a team who's probably could be, if not in the final, but win it, with, injuries, with a player leaving. That just shows, and that's why it frustrates us as fans. I'm sure you'll agree, Jay. That's why it frustrates us as fans, because we know
what we can do.
That's what we can do. Yeah, and at the end of the day, even Coach said it and Jack said it. They are professional athletes. They should be able to play 2 games in a weekend.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you can get a bit tired, but Sheffield wasn't using that excuse. No one's using the excuse, but it's not an excuse to use at all.
Yeah.
So we can't. It was just a bad game against Sheffield, and that's why it frustrated us after the fight we shown on Friday.
Yeah, I mean, like we say, I'll say it till I'm blue in the face for that Riders game. That was the best performance I've seen him play in a long, long time.
Oh Jesus! In seasons.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd say it's probably the best I've seen us play. Sit like in front of my eyes. Remember when we was playing Newcastle at home with George Carnell, and we was down all game, and then we just came back. Tory Butler got the dunk. Willie Clayton, it was just defensive, absolute beast. That was one of the. I said on that day that was the best game I've ever seen.
Yeah,
and Leicester was close to that. It really was close. Everything was just going right for us. The substitutions were brilliant. All the rotations, everything. The plays were great. It was just Leicester was just susceptible to the offense we was playing.
Yeah, but then
it's probably worth mentioning as well. Sheffield pressed from the start like big style.
Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't like, you know, an easy press break. It was tough, mate. It was a pre-rehearsed press.
Yeah.
You know, they've done that over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So,
and obviously we're seeing the prowess of Sam Cassell coming out, and we see that teams are just double teaming him off the ball. They're walking up with him. They're only pressing Cassell himself and leaving everyone else, which one is obviously a kind of a backhanded compliment, because you're pressing what you believe to be the best player on the court.
Yeah.
But then that for me personally, as a fan watching, goes, we've got 4 other guys who can score just as well as him.
Yeah, and it is just a compliment, I think, to Sam Cassell. And the best bit about that is 90% of Sam Cassell's shots are contested.
Yeah.
You know, and they go in. You know. So do that all you want, boys. You know, like at the end of the day, mate. You know, I think we've kind of, you know, we've summarised it really well, and I think moving on from this, because we want to be more positive.
Yeah.
That's that, and that's done now. You know, we've had a moan. Yeah. Everyone is entitled to a moan. Giants, you know, every player on that team would have had a moan at themselves, at someone in the family, or, you know, one of the other players. They've had the moan, and that's it. You know, and we get on with it. We stay 100% positive, because at the end of the day, mate, we didn't win a game last year. You know, we came close. We didn't win a game last year.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, you've got to stay humble in this kind of thing. And at the end of the day, you know, we're here to give the fans a voice, and everything we're saying is just what the fans are thinking.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah.
So I'm just going to scout through a couple of the questions that we've got in of what the fans want to talk about on this show. Yeah. We've covered some of them. Let's have a look at this one. Sorry. Covered that. I'll edit this bit out. So this comes from Seb. Shout out Seb, as always. Artwork, smashing us, likes, shares, exactly what you're just doing right now to us and reading my phone, getting involved with us. So thank you very much, Seb, for this one. With an unbiased opinion, mate, and I'll let you go first. With an unbiased opinion, are Giants a top 4 team?
With Hexham,
that's a hard
yes.
top 4 team.
Yeah, with Hexham, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Without Hexham, and this is assuming, say, we didn't get anyone else in. No.
Okay.
They're a playoffs team.
Yep.
But as simple as that, we've seen the frailties now, you know. Yeah. So
off the back of that, I am also going to agree that we are a top 5 team, not a top 4. Because who we've played at the moment, and looking at watching the rest of the games, you know, your top 4, not in any particular order, are going to be London, Leicester, Plymouth, and I want to squeeze Sheffield or Worcester in there. But it's a bit of a tough. It's a bit of a dogfight for 4, 5, and 6 in my eyes.
Yeah. I think Glasgow are going to finish stone bottom. I think Cheshire wouldn't have been far off it if they hadn't got NBA. I think we're going to be really close to Cheshire, if I'm honest with you, now. And I think Sheffield will be one above us. Worcester, you just don't know what Worcester you're going to get. So, you know.
I think going off the back of... Sorry, mate, go on.
I was saying, I do think, you know, it's going to be Glasgow or Surrey, you know, bottom. And then it really could be anyone after that. You know, it could be any one of three or 4 teams mixing it up. Yeah.
I think just going off, so back when we started again as a franchise in 2012, we've not finished above 9th since then. We've not even hit the playoffs.
Where do the playoffs? Where did the playoffs start again? 8th, yeah. So we're fully capable of that. Like we're fully capable of that. There's no reason why we shouldn't do it. But yeah,
I think we actually, the closest we came was the Willie Clayton, Mike McCall, Tory Butler season.
Yeah, that was. We just rallied at the wrong time, didn't we?
I think we were 8th, but we were depending on Cheshire getting beat on the last game of the season or something like that.
Yeah, we went on a little run towards the end of the year, and it was just a bit of sort of too little, too late.
Yeah,
you know, there's a lot of atmospherics at play there. You know what I mean?
So mate, if we finish above 9th, again, I'm calling that a success.
Yeah, of course, mate. Of course, it's just it's a rebuild. We see it in football, we see it in everything. This, the people of it takes years, man, years to rebuild. It really does. And unless you've got, the facilities like Leicester have got, like Newcastle have got, and all this, like, as in when I say the facilities, I don't mean the court. I mean the backbone and the structure, which we've just got.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We've only just got. They've been doing it for years. So now you're going to see us in 2 or 3 years' time, providing everything carries on going well. We are going to be up there, as I talked about, guaranteed top 3 team. There's no doubt about it in my eyes.
Absolutely. Got another one here from Seb as well. Where is our weakness, and how can Giants overcome this area and to strengthen up?
Weakness. We don't transition defense very well.
Agreed.
There's not a lot of pace in the team.
There's a lot of height. There's a lot of strength.
Yeah. There's just not a lot of pace in the team. Even though we've only lost Hexham, the issues on transition defense were still there when Hexham was there. It's just we had another scorer.
Yeah.
But I think the only other bit I can think of, because you've got David Ulf, who is just an out and out Rodman kind of forward.
Yeah.
David Ulf would rather get 20 rebounds than 20 points.
Yeah.
He's that kind of player. So, but he's only going to give you sort of half a game at a time, the way he's rotating at the moment.
Yeah.
So, like we said, that power forward spot there, because David Ulf isn't a scorer necessarily. He can score and he gets plenty of points, but he's not like an out and out scorer like Hexham was. So I think that and a lot of teams seem to have it at the moment, a power forward who can shoot threes, who can slip into 3 or can play centre, So yeah, I think that's I'm sort of missing link at the moment. A sort of a tall 3 or an out and out 4.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more, mate. I don't think there's any point in bringing a centre in. I think Brady is the most athletic centre in this league, and I don't think we're going to get any. If we do get an out-and-out centre, there'd be no point, because obviously Ulf comes in as that power forward / centre role for us when Brady's off.
And he can do it.
And I just don't think we need a centre. Does Whelan get? Sorry, mate.
I was saying, like, just touching on that, what you just said, I think if Brady could shoot the 3 like Hexham could, I would more than happily play Ulf at centre and Brady at 4.
Yeah.
Because he can do that. Brady can't. And, we've seen him stepping out with his jump shot. He's just not as quick as Hexham was. Do you know what I mean? Like we said, Hexham could step into a guard's position if we needed him to.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate, carry on.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Moving on, does Whelan get that regular starting spot for you now?
Yeah.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, totally agree. There's not much more
he showed his worth, and that's throwing no shade at any of the players. He's just come out and he's balled and he's wanted it more.
He's been through these testing times. He's been a true professional.
Yeah, even with 3 weeks out. I don't want to sit here and kiss his ass about it, but he's the only one that's actually coming out. Not the only one. Sorry, let me scrap that. Not the only one coming out there, but he looks the most ferocious when he's on the court. Yeah,
he looks dangerous. And we touched on it on our interview, him saying it was actually quite funny. Him saying I should be taller. Yeah. Listen, if that guy was 6'7", he wouldn't be far off the top of the top, mate. I'm telling you now,
not
because he's got the lot. He's got the lot.
Not at all, mate. We'll go from Seb's questions. So, also, mate, thank you very much for those questions. We've got one over on Facebook. I think what we just touched on then. So we've got Ben from the Giants group who says, we need another big as good as Brady is. It gets into foul trouble far too soon, and then Ulf needs to be on the court probably too much than he tries. I'd go for a big centre. Maybe even give Gettys a call, then rotate them around Brady and play as a power forward. And I think we
listen,
just took.
Gates isn't leaving China.
I think he's on a bit too much money. Yeah.
Yeah, he's earning way too much in China, and all he's doing is making his status bigger, which is he deserves it. You know, he had that season where he lost all the weight, put on very good muscle.
Yeah.
He's gonna bounce around that top professional circuit for a long time now.
Yeah.
You know, is he? Oh, he's in Japan. Sorry, isn't he? He's not in China. He's in Japan. Yeah. So you know, he's not going to do that. So that just kind of. Sorry to cancel that out, mate, but that's just that. I do agree with him, though. It's like I said, you know, another big centre. Another big centre, you know, it really would help. I mean, ideally, someone who can shoot as well, but just someone who can fill that void that if Brady's in foul trouble, we can bring Ulf on, but then we've got no one else for rebounding, and that's what we need. We need to be able to be playing 2 rebounders at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, I know DJ's stepping into the rebounds. Yeah, it does.
It showed in the Leicester game.
Yeah, and DJ does step into the rebounds, but we've also seen the fact that he gets in foul trouble because he's mismatched.
Yeah.
Because he's mismatched, and the referees they'll blow for you sneezing on him at the moment. You know what I mean? So he's getting into foul trouble because he's playing a mismatch, and it's not his fault. You know, it's just the way the team's played out.
Yeah.
But if we had that extra, because he is value on the board, but if we had that extra out and out rebounder, it would unlock so many players. Yeah, it really would.
Absolutely, mate. Like we said, if there's any huge 7'2" centers out there that can step out and shoot a 3, and you're a free agent, give us a call. We'll slot you right in. That pretty much wraps up the fans' interaction and questions. So thank you very much, guys, for getting in touch there. You know, we said it before, you're the guys driving us to do this, not just the club, not just the team and watching the games. You know, your interaction helps a hell of a lot. So thank you for getting in touch about them, guys. So just to close off the show, mate, Worcester on Wednesday, we've got the pre-game show, which will already be out by the time this is released.
Yeah.
You know, we've got Worcester. Don't want to talk about too much. Don't want to spoil our little don't want to spoil our pre-game show for us recording. But you know what we're saying. I think you clarified it earlier in the show. We don't know what Worcester we're going to get on the day.
Yeah, we don't know. Yeah, I can summarize this as quick as you want. You know, we don't know what Worcester we're going to get. They have strengthened well. I'll give them that. They have strengthened well. They're a good team. They're a very athletic team. If anything, it's bad for us because they play not into our hands. Sorry, we play into their hands. They haven't got NBA, which I think he was a big player for them in the last game. But you know, we'll touch on that again in the pre-game show. We just need to, and I hope that because I know the Giants players are listening to this, and we just need to be positive.
Yeah.
Stay positive. You know, you're in a very, very privileged position, and you've got so many fans still behind you. And when we have a moan about this and that, and you know, it's just us letting out our frustrations.
Yeah.
You know, there's no other platform or anything to do. We can't go to games, and you know, if we're angry at the refs, we can't shout at the refs. You know, we just can't. You know, so this is just us using our platform. So take nothing but positive vibes from this podcast.
Absolutely.
And, you know, and just because at the end of the day, guys, you've brought us, 5 more wins than what we had last season, you know, so it's just that. And all we ask for from not just the players, the coaches and everybody is 100% effort.
Yeah.
And if you come off that court, red-faced, sweating, and you can barely walk because your muscles are seizing up and you got cramp, then that's fine with us.
Yeah.
You know, that's absolutely fine with us. Stay positive and just be the players that you can be. There's nothing else I can say on that.
Yeah, just to go off the back of you there, mate. If we come out and play the hardest we play every single game, win or lose, we move on. And I think I know that the players are gonna, you know, listen to this. I know that the players are gonna be hearing that off of the management, the coaches, you know, and everyone they have on their team. But we're gonna say it as well. Get this weekend behind you. It's gone. It's done. Like, this weekend didn't happen. We've got the next 19 games to look forward to. and you've got to aim to win those next 19 games, which is what we're going to do, you know. And we're genuinely, this weekend has just had its up and downs, but I don't think I've ever been as proud as I am after this weekend, mate. It's just
100%.
ridiculous.
100%. And, you know, and let's not forget, you know, we probably couldn't have asked for, apart from playing London and Newcastle, say, we couldn't have asked for 4 tougher games.
Yeah.
You know, and I still fully believe, especially now Cheshire's strengthened, Cheshire can probably beat most teams in the league now, you know. So I have no doubt in my mind that, you know, we're going to bounce back, and they are going to put in the effort, and they are going to do that. And if we get beat at Worcester, so be it. You know, we look back and that's it. But I'm positive we can do it. You know, I'm positive we can do it against them. We just these are 2 big games, mate. You know, we've got Worcester Wednesday and we've got the Sky game on Friday.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, guys, look out for that Friday game because me and John have got something special planned.
We have. No, we're not suiting up and going on Sky Sports. Although that's what you want.
we're just subbing out Mike Tuck and Kieran Achara for us too, mate.
Yeah. I used to like Mike Tuck, but since he beat us, then, you know.
We've given him nothing but praise until he beat us.
I know. Mike Tuck can do one, mate.
I was going to clip that bit and tag him on Twitter. Cheers for that, pal.
Nice. He's a baller. I like it.
But yeah, with that said, tune in to our next show and our next pre-game show. Worcester coming up with the BBL player on Wednesday. Special guest. They'll already know who it is because this is coming out after it. But keep your ears and eyes listened for us. And then, we've got the Sky game on Friday against Surrey, I believe.
Surrey, yeah.
Which is going to be a tough game, as we know, but we move on. We improvise, we adapt, we overcome, you know.
Yeah.
So keep it up, guys. Thank you very, very much for listening. Shout out to the players, to the coaches, the management, the franchise, everyone involved at the Giants for what you're doing and supporting us. Just being interactive with us, texting us, phoning us, you know, that's the kind of shit that keeps us going. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you to all the fans that got involved. Thank you to Seb, again, for this continuous support, getting in touch with his questions and wanted to know what our thoughts on this weekend. So thank you very much, guys. We do have some big news coming up. I'm not just saying that as like stay tuned. We have got some huge news.
So much. Like there's like 3 bits of big news coming up.
And we can't give them away all at once, because then we'll run out of stuff to post. But we do have three huge things. One of them being a huge giveaway coming away, so keep your eyes peeled on that. And
no more trade secrets.
No more trade secrets. And that's it, mate. Yeah, that's about it. Just go follow us on our Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Like and subscribe. Share it with a friend. Comment. Say hello to us. Give us a message. We're always going to be there to reply. Even if you're not a Giants fan, just get in touch with us. We'll just have a chat with you. We'll just talk ball, do exactly what we do here, and we just hope you enjoy the show and get behind the boys as always.